motion has been made to adjourn, it's been defeated. If there were more than one reason or more than one argument in favor of the motion, those arguments or reasons should have been made or given when the motion was on the table. The only way that this board can now consider a motion to adjourn this meeting is if one of the people who voted against your motion, Michael, were to say, as Mr. Blum pointed out, I changed my mind, I want to move that we postpone the meeting, and then you'd start over. But if you had 10 reasons, you should have given all 10. You can't bring the motion 10 times, giving one reason each time, the same motion.
Point of information, I'd like to ask Mr. Heffler to make the motion that I tried to make, out of fairness to Barbara.
Wouldn't make it? No, that motion would be out of order. It's not, oh, because you voted with the prevailing side, I'm sorry. But then you would make a motion to reconsider the question, postpone, if you wanted to make that motion.
I respectfully decline Mr. DeLuca's invitation to make the motion.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good try.
Okay. The question.
Okay.
Can I just ask you to clarify that all the motions we that were stated? How many
You
were
should
there?
ask the
3?
secretary. It was his motion.
We had a motion to postpone the meeting.
Right.
We had a
Which
motion.
was defeated.
Right.
First
And the
motion,
last one was the motion to move the first item on the agenda, which was the apology,
Right.
postpone it to the next meeting. I believe that
So
was the
you-
last
so you're
one.
now
And that
ready.
was
That's
defeated.
the only
Now
two.
we're ready,
Can we
now
move
ready to
forward
bring
now?
up
No, I'll
the
make a
first
motion.
item
I'll
on
make a
the
motion
agenda.
to remove the removal of the treasurer from the agenda. Remove that topic.
So we now postpone the remove.
well,
Removing certain things on the agenda from discussion for until the January 8th meeting.
that's the
It's been
motion
done
to
already.
table.
Table, yes.
This is equivalent to the motion to postpone until January 8th. If the
Well, no,
motion to
that was for the
postpone
meeting. That
had
was for
been
the
to
meeting.
some other date or event, the motion to table would have been proper. But you're essentially asking that the same act be reconsidered. But in one case, it's called a motion to postpone, in the other case, a motion to table.
No, it's to table only one topic on the agenda.
That was Michael's first motion, just to table the last two.
That's why I was asking for clarification. I don't want to make the same motion.
But it
Twice.
was essentially the
That's-
same motion.
It was stated differently.
So can we move forward?
It was, that's my motion to remove the topic of removing the treasurer off the agenda.
That's
the
been
same
did
thing.
already.
He
Yeah.
did it already.
So you're ready to address the first topic on the agenda.
So, which was the apology.
To make a motion. I want to repeat my motion from a previous meeting. I would like to provide the members of the Financial Advisory Committee with a formal apology on behalf of the board.
four.
This is the motion, right? I'll second the motion.
Excuse me, I believe in your motion, don't you have to say what we're apologizing for?
He's going to say.
And go.
Well, how can we vote for the motion or not if we don't know what the apology
It's-
He
is?
Yes.
seconded in his
Seconded.
discussion.
I think it should be part of the motion.
Excuse me.
I don't.
Mr. Parliamentarian, shouldn't it be part of the motion? If he's making a motion to provide an apology, that's the motion? Shouldn't we make a motion to provide an apology because of? How can we vote on that motion? if we don't-
I'm going to explain, I'm going to
Well,
discuss.
I think what you should do is explain the circumstances first and then make the motion.
Thank you.
That
Okay.
will take care of this.
Okay, fine. All right.
But
The-
excuse me, when you explain the circumstances, don't argue for or against the motion, because no motion is on the floor yet. You're just explaining the circumstances.
Okay. The board has recently been informed of inappropriate communications by the board treasurer, Ms. Barbara Tokay, toward members of the FAC. While we will not be airing this dirty laundry here, all board members have been privy to the communications in question. It's with great humility that I personally ask the members of the FAC to accept our apology. I hope that the board will be taking the necessary actions to ensure that the FAC can continue its work without interference and without fear of reprisal. But on behalf of the GTCA, I would like to offer a formal apology to the members of the FAC, all of whom have our deepest respect, admiration, and most sincere thanks for their selfless dedication and commitment to the betterment of the galaxy.
Now make a
That
motion.
explains it. Okay. I'll repeat the motion once again. I would like to provide the members of the Financial Advisory Committee with a formal apology on behalf of the board.
I'll second the motion.
For discussion. Beanie?
We'll pass it up, man, I'm gonna come back.
Why not?
I'd like to know, excuse me? Did I just hear that if you pass, you're not going to have a chance to speak?
Yeah, that's what
Was
he
it
No.
said.
No.
I thought I just heard
Excuse
that.
me,
Now he's the
you have the
parliamentarian.
floor to come
Well,
on.
I don't want
Not to respond to, but
Well, somebody jumped in and said something, Thomas. It wasn't me.
Just a minute. I didn't see, did you raise your hand?
no.
No, I said I want to pass it to
I-
Luann, but I want to come back
Just-
to me.
Okay, we don't follow that procedure here. Luann raised her hand, she was recognized. If you wish to speak after Luann has finished at any time, you just raise your hand and presumably you'll be recognized.
Okay, well, he was still around the table.
Yes. You thank one thing first. Okay.
Me? I don't know what I'm apologizing for. I would like clarification on what I'm apologizing for. I certainly agree with Richard that the FAC is a terrific entity. They do a lot of great work. They're very selfless. I find them very, very respectable people. But I have no idea what I'm apologizing for. And if we're not going to come out and say what we're apologizing for, how can I vote to apologize to them? They may very well deserve an apology, but I don't know what I'm apologizing for. Now, I'm sure that Mr. Miller's going to say, well, we've all seen those emails. Well, I've got all the emails in front of me, and I don't see anything actionable in any of them, and I don't see any liability in any of them. As a matter of fact, if you remember, last week, I sent a letter to all of you. It was addressed to you, Thomas, but I sent a letter to the entire board, and I'd like to read what I said. And what I said was, "Hi, Thomas. If you are referring to the emails between Barbara and Richard Vasquez, the ones we all got copies of, I fail to see anything actionable as well. Could you elaborate and show me where any potential liability lies? Thanks, Luann." Polite letter. Just tell me, where's the liability? Not one answer. Not one answer from any of you. So I still don't. And you can show me where the liability is, I get nothing. So I don't see any liability. What I see is a back and forth between two people. And, if one of them owes an apology to the other one, that's really up to them. They all seem to be pretty personal emails. They got down to a personal level, as many emails do. But as for liability, actionability, why are we apologizing? I'm not sure. I'm not sure why this board is apologizing for personal emails between two people that I don't see any liability in. And I know it's great to go around and say, we're liable, we're going to be sued. But when you come down, when one board sitting member says to the rest of the board, can you show me the liability? Please, I'm curious. No.
See, we all have different standards for things we apologize. I don't remember, and I don't basically see liability or not. I see that apology is in order. I've seen emails. The emails are quite disturbing. In my subjective opinion, it has nothing to do with somebody's reading. That's why we have a procedure here. People who sees our problems support it, and people who don't oppose it. Each director has an opportunity to either go up to yay or nay on any question. And I do not understand why should I share my standards for apology with entire board and try to convince somebody that certain things are good and certain things are not. People, we have to wash our hands before we eat, or we don't have to wash. It's a business, it's how we were brought up and how we react to certain things. But the exchange of emails was seriously inappropriate. This is not the first time. This goes back to inception of the Financial Advisory Committee, and it's shameful that we did not act on this issue before, because everybody saw this